Welcome to the All Things Thing podcast, everyone. Hey! As you can see, we're having more young blood on the podcast. And I'm your favorite host, Akitunde Ido. This is what I love doing. I don't get paid for it, but you're free to employ me when you have the money. Okay.
That's so weird.
And I have with me today one of my favorite guests, who spoke with me on the podcast last week, and it was an incredible conversation. Her name is Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Perfect. And we have Tolu as well. Do you want me to use Tolu or your English name?
That is my English name.
Tolu is not English.
That's my name. No.
Okay, so today we have an interesting conversation we want to drive, and it's actually titled Talking Stage. Yay! So everyone who is mushy and you love relationship or you love love. This is the podcast for you. And one thing I have noticed in our current dispensation, our generation, is that I had a conversation with some guys a few weeks ago, and then we're talking about like how much talking stage is too much. Like, how many people do you have in a talking stage?
People.
Can you?
Sometimes one on one. Sorry.
Well, before I ask that question, I think it's just good to have a background of like what you think talking stage is. What exactly is talking stage?
I think it is getting to know someone. Okay, we're talking about specifically relationship, right?
Can talking stage be with multiple people?
Multiple people.
Yeah.
People do it, but I don't think it's. That's a good question. Some people can and only do focus on one person.
Okay.
To talk to and to get to know in that way.
Yeah.
Like intimately. But some people, I feel like they need to talk to more than one person to know
who is qualified.
Qualified.
Big word.
Yeah. I feel like some people go about it that way, as in they need to talk to more than one person to know what it is that they like or want.
What do you think, Kai?
Same with what she said. Yeah. Like getting to know someone more deeply, or seeing if you want to continue talking to someone or be in that relationship.
So that makes sense to have multiple people. Like you can talk to multiple people then. Like you can chat multiple people.
I want to say, I don't agree with it, but for some people that might be what is that's how they feel is what's best. So say if there was 2 or 3 people that they were talking to, it's maybe they're seeing what qualities that they're looking for, and maybe those 2 or 3 people are showing some of those qualities, but it's they're getting to know them at the same time. That just sounds so wrong. Getting to know them at the same time. To see,
it actually sounds wrong now.
I'm saying, but that's what people doing it. But
I totally get what you mean, and it's. I don't know. For me, I don't know if talking stage is the stage for building friendship, or if it's a stage where you're trying to know someone with intentions of getting into a more deeply is it romantic relationship? Yeah, romantic relationship with them, So do we classify friendships?
Nah, realistically, if we're using it as a universal term, I feel like everyone, when you say talking stage, you'll know automatically that's what you're talking about. That's for romantic relationship, not necessarily for friendships, because some people it could be a talking stage for friendship as well, because you can determine if you want to still remain friends with that person or not after a couple of weeks or months or whatever. But we don't necessarily title it talking stage.
Okay.
Yeah, usually you're just I made this new friend.
Yeah.
Or this person I met. And then,
it's just random. You don't really pay too much attention to. Okay. And obviously, like, guys and girls usually have like what they want in like people they want to go into a relationship with. And like there's this thing I usually wonder about, like there's something called dating. Like, is that even a thing? Like, is it biblical?
Like the word dating?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think the word dating. Nah.
No. So
as in the word dating. No.
Yeah. Okay, so like what we do, like dating, do we even date? Like, do people date?
Yeah.
So where did we get it from?
I think it's just a word, like, I don't know, let's say not even biblical terms, but like long time ago, I don't think they would have said that. They wouldn't have identified it as dating. I think that's just one of the new words that have come up. I don't know what year, but
does dating have a romantic connotation to it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
You won't use that word with friends.
Yeah, that's true. I've never used it.
Well, sometimes you say to your friends, let's go on a date."
Yeah, but just like there's a way you say it as well.
Yeah,
like they'll get it.
They'll get it. Yeah.
It's just
they'll know it's just like us as friends. I don't know. Yeah.
It's interesting because like sometimes I look at it and I'm like, okay, people are going on a date, and I always wonder, what's the Bible way of like people actually getting married? Like, what's the process? Like, how is it meant to work? Because if dating is not in the Bible, then how does the Bible expect us to, enter into relationships?
Yeah. Now, I know there's like, I don't know. It's actually, I know they use the term courtship, but I don't know. Is that actually in
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. But I know they use the term courtship instead of, let's say, dating.
Do you think they mean the same thing?
Okay, what's dating?
Would you like classify like courting as in like you're dating but the intention of being married, and then dating is just to have a relationship?
I think courtship is like you knowing someone with the intention of getting married. I think dating is just like a secular way of building some sort of like romantic relationship with people, but with no commitment per se.
With no
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the...
Like courtship gives commitment head on. You're like, okay, I'm not exactly trying this thing, but I want us to build something, work out our characters out, and like try to like blend and reach a compromise. And then,
But, so if someone is courting now, if two people are courting, do they have to get married?
No.
They don't have to?
But they have to be intending
to get married.
Yeah. Otherwise, everybody can just end their relationship.
Yeah, but like... Now I get what you're saying, but I'm saying like, some people, it's a thing where, let's just say they don't know the term courtship. They're just dating. Let's just say people that don't know Christ or something, and it's like they are dating, but they still have the intentions of getting married to the person or whatever. Like, say they're talking to someone in the talking stage or whatever, and they're finding out how they are or so, and it's like they still have the intentions of getting married to the person, and then let's say it didn't work out, but they always have the intention of, when they're with this person, that it's because they want to get married to them. So why can't they? I know obviously the world has perverted the word dating or so into what it is now, but I'm saying like there are still people that, let's say, don't know Christ or the biblical way of
yeah,
and it's like they still have the intentions of do you know what I'm trying to say?
I get what you mean.
So like, why does it matter? Like, okay, maybe it's because of, like I said, the way they prefer
it's a semantic, like a word, and more like me trying to like use semantics to just communicate. So like maybe our parents' generation, they probably didn't even know there was a word dating. I don't know.
Yes, they did. They're not that old. No, they definitely did that.
My parents are old. But yeah, I'm not exactly really sure. But like, I think they knew about courtship and stuff like that. But like dating, maybe not so much. But there's this guy.
Do you think it's the age or where they were, as in the like Nigeria, or like what if like they were in America or Ireland or so?
Yeah, they would probably not dating. Dating has been a thing for a long time. Yeah,
so
I think
you said age.
Well,
like,
maybe it's cultural.
Yeah, culture.
Should there be a specific age for people to enter into a relationship?
Specific age,
or like an age bracket where people should consider?
That's a good question, because we already know that like some people, their parents, they would have married young, like 16, 17. And if you try that, no one is taking a 16-year-old seriously this day and age. But yeah, I feel like I don't know, because I feel like, but maybe because they were definitely like, let me not say definitely, they were, some of them could have been more mature then because of how life was then. But like nowadays, it's like a 16 years compared to a 16-year-old now to a 16-year-old back then. I think there's a difference even in like what they know in life in general. Like,
but you know, we have access to more information.
We do.
Like, so we should be more matured than they are.
Well, I would say I'm matured. I'm 16.
No, yeah, you are. But have you met Dara?
No, you're exing.
No, he hasn't. No, he's obviously mature in certain ways. Yes.
I think it also has to do with like gender.
Yes,
like,
gender.
I think female like they mature really fast compared to like males. Like when I was 16, I don't really think I was thinking about like good things. Like I was just thinking, like you get what I mean. Like I wasn't planning for like there's this lady, and I was just like old school, very serious and stuff like that. I didn't used to like girls that much, like when I was a teenager.
That's good.
I like one girl though, like.
That's good.
Because I was the president of a drama group, and so like because of the leadership thing. They usually kind of so and like girls are like they can be very funny. They're not like, oh please I didn't write my name, please can you hear me? You know how they normally do that pity face.
If I saw that,
so they're like, I can't, please can you help me write it? Thank you. And then they'll touch your shoulder or stuff like that, just oh God. But thank Jesus for holiness.
So you let them pass. You let it pass.
I mean, like, cause like they had this. They're very beautiful, and like the people who were approaching them, they were like elder brothers in the church.
Elder brothers.
Like big people, So I don't think I stood a chance. Like it's very weird how women kind of date though, like, cause there's so much hypergamy. Women date people who are older and who have gone far ahead.
That's so funny, because my mom was. I remember a few years ago, my mom was telling me that I should be with someone that is like, I think she said like at least 5 years older.
Huh?
And I was like, I promise you, that's not gonna happen. Because she obviously like, see what you said there. I think they obviously would think that because girls mature quicker than guys, or so. It's like a thing where the guy might have certain things in life by then, or have his head together. But I promise you, there are 33-year-olds, 34-years-olds.
Yes,
how old am I? 23. So there are 28, 29-year-olds that are definitely still not
mature enough to.
Their age issue does not make them mature. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like the age, obviously, it can be an advantage at times, but it doesn't guarantee maturity.
Can you marry someone who is younger than you?
No.
How much younger are we talking?
Like only like a year younger.
Can you hear your sister?
A year is okay.
Because I feel like no, just now. Like they'll be less mature than me.
What if they are mature? Because sometimes, like when someone meets someone the first time, they might not. Obviously, one of the first questions you usually ask is how old you are, but some people actually don't. Some people actually don't ask that question. So, say if you don't know their age and you sense maturity and you're thinking that they're actually older than you, but then you find out that they're younger. Is that a problem? I'm asking. Well, I can't ask you because you're not.
It depends. Like, it depends how younger. Like, if it's more than, I would give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, more than 2 years younger, no.
2 years. Dang, that's a lot. That is a lot.
But that's being very generous. Yeah, like very generous.
Very generous. No, yeah. But I get it. Yeah. But would you go like as a man? Go for an older woman?
That's a good question. So, like,
actually, I feel like guys usually prefer that.
Guys do, and the reason is because the priorities for a guy is usually like peace of mind and less drama. Yeah. The younger chaps tend to be very dramatic. Like any small thing can just trigger drama. But like you're having conversations and then before, so I'm the one shouting now. Okay, it's okay, no problem. And he doesn't want to talk. I'm the one shouting. And before you know, like, but I'm just trying to have a conversation. But meanwhile, the other woman is just like, you are both just matured and you get it. Do you get what I mean? So, but still, personally, I wouldn't go for an older woman because I kind of
feel like the man.
Not really. Like I'm not really very African in my mentality, you know. But like it's more of like, sometimes I just feel like when the person is older than you and they do certain things, maybe they kind of talk you down, or like there are heated moments where they just speak very harshly, you know. You might want to see from this person is disrespecting me. Whereas if it's someone who is younger than you wouldn't really see that way because you're just like, you see from an angle of like, this person is kind of like a baby sister as well. Do you get what I mean? Like, so you wouldn't read too much meanings into it. Whereas if it's someone who is like older than you, you're like, maybe it's because like she's older, or maybe because she has more money, or maybe because like do you get what I mean? So that's how I see. But you guys said that like maturity is very important to you when getting into a relationship. What exactly is maturity? What do we mean when we talk about maturity? Is it in terms of money, like having more money than you?
It's an all-round thing. Money can be part of it, but
like having your life together, or like having a direction for where you want your life to be.
What does that even mean?
Like having goals, ambition.
Can you get into a relationship with someone who is not clear on where they're going?
Or are you talking like me personally, or like people? No.
Why?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like, especially if you're doing the whole, like, you're intending to get married, it's a thing where you will need some sort of certainty that, like, okay, this person at least has a place that they want to go in life, rather than just sitting there and being jobless. And
do you think we place too much responsibilities on guys and we kind of let women have their way? Like, because obviously, like, for guys, women, I usually hear this, especially in Nigeria, they will be like, if the guy doesn't have money, if he doesn't have his own apartment, if he doesn't have this, if he doesn't have a car, I can't date him. Whereas you as the lady, you don't even have anything. The girl doesn't even have a job. She just has a fine face. Yeah. And that's it. Do you get what I mean? And
she just has a frowning face.
A fine face.
Oh, fine face.
And that's it. And the question is, what value is the girl bringing, at that moment in time? Like, so if you're not saying that, like, the guy should have a direction, don't you think it should go both ways?
No, definitely should. Yeah, go both ways. But I think because of the whole thing where, like, there's the person that wears the pants or so, like, I feel like the woman should definitely be still secure as well, but the man as well, especially if he is the head of the house. Do you know what I mean? Like, the woman should definitely still bring. I'm not saying she should now just have a fine face, like you said, like. Because imagine like.
Quote me.
No, that's what you said though. No, I feel like if they just have, if they're just all about looks or so, and it's like, let's say even them within themselves, they're not a good person, or like they can't. Let's say, I'm not saying that they have to know how to cook, but it's like certain things that they should be able to do or bring to the marriage as well, because it works both ends. And the thing is, you don't want it to be a thing where like only one person in the marriage is now happy, relationship or marriage or whatever. So like, if the man is now doing all the work and bringing like he's paying bills and doing all that stuff, and she's just there, he will be drained emotionally and mentally, physically.
That's true.
So it's like financially, spiritually. So he'll be drained, and it's like she's just there, and it's like it's meant to be like both of you putting in the work together, especially like if you want to raise a family as well. You know, like you both need to put in
a certain amount.
Yeah. Are you gonna ask for percentages now? Okay, I tell you. Okay.
No.
Don't worry, people like,
because life plays out differently for different people. Like, some women are more successful than their guys based on their career path or like the roles they're currently.
Do you think that's okay?
Personally, I don't have any issues with it. I think it also boils down to the self-esteem as of the people in the relationship. Like, if a guy has a healthy self-esteem, you will understand that like his self-worth is not determined by the money he has. That doesn't also absolve you of your responsibilities. Do you get what I mean? Like, even when you are earning less than the woman, still play your role as a guy. What I think maybe is perhaps happening in our society today is that like we have a lot of men that don't know how to be men anymore, because the switch has the
switch has flipped.
The switch has flipped, and because in time past, you know, women are usually considered like the home keepers, you know, people who take care of the children and stuff like that, and men are like the people who provide for the family. But now you have both men and women working, and you even have more like affirmative actions, you know, for women, empowerment and stuff like that. And there are even more like jobs for women compared to like their male counterparts, just because they want to balance the gender, you know, gap and stuff like that. But when men obviously are trying to, they have built their identity based on provision, and both parties are now providing, then they don't really know how to stand out. Do you get what I mean? Because what I can do, the woman can do as well, and she can do better. And I also think that like that's where like the whole idea of extremism of feminism has also like destroyed the concept of marriage and relationships. You know, you would see like ladies today, they want to emasculate men. Like they tell you they don't even need men, and I find that very, very tough, because it feels like they don't really understand the role of men and women.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Do you want to go first? Okay. I don't know. I think that first of all, you're right in terms of like the whole feminism. But what's it called? I personally believe that what causes that is, let's say, some people don't have a reason, they're just following trends. But then for some reason, for some people, the reason is that, let's say they were raised by a single mother. So like, it's a thing where all they see is their mother as playing the mother and the father role. Well, no one can actually play a father role, but as in masculine that or so. But what's it called? So they're used to seeing just their mother doing all these things. So it's like, if their mom can do it, they'll feel like, why can't I do? I can do it by myself as well. So I feel like that shows that like that's why they're more like projecting to the world. Like, I can, if she can do it, I can. I don't need. They feel like they don't need a man to do these things. And
what do they need men for?
No, that's the thing. Like, I don't know why. Like,
are we like tools or chattel that like we just use whenever you need?
Yeah, it's not about needing a like obviously, God wants us to. Well, maybe not everyone's called to marriage. First of all,
What?
I don't think so. Do you think so? I don't think so. I don't
Really?
I don't think everyone's called to marriage
So like some people are called to be single mothers.
or fathers. Yep. Not saying no, not fathers. Not having children. I'm talking about like.
Sorry.
Rewind.
Right.
They don't have. Let's just say. Actually, no, they could have children. But let's just say they don't have children. They're still young. Say like they're like 24, right? And what's it called? They don't have children. They don't have any like those kind of responsibilities. God might not want them to have a husband, but in terms of the children one, do you think that it's possible? Actually, I know you're not on this, but we can still hear you.
Yeah, you could.
You can still talk.
Our producer is Regina. You know, she's off the show. So, Regina,
We can hear you.
we can hear you. She's just laughing.
I don't think, because I think there's something about the Nigerian culture that makes it seem that like marriage is like ultimate, like the ultimate goal in life. But I don't think like if you don't marry, it's not like you don't go to heaven. But I'm not also like I'm not also like saying don't get married. But I feel like it's something that needs to be spoken about. Maybe I guess in the Nigerian
Context.
space. Yeah.
Well, you're not only Nigerian,
It's
but
not the end because I've heard so many stories of people that because they're not married, they've
Suspended their lives.
yes, or like they've gotten into marriage
Abusive.
because of like the force of it, not because they know they want to marry this person or they see a future. They just need to be married because of the pressure that comes from.
It feels like it's a process. Once you finish school, like the next thing
Get
you have
job
to
and then
get a
get
job, and once you have a job and you're
Married
earning
and
some
kids.
money, then why not marry? And then once you marry, people expect you to have kids, and when you
Yeah.
don't have kids,
Yeah.
they get angry.
and they really look at it as a taboo that like, oh, this person's 29,
yeah.
they're not married at 30, you know. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is that? And then like one thing I despise with all my heart is when parents will feel like, okay, now they're gonna have to set up an arranged marriage. I don't. Me personally,
Now that you brought up arranged marriage, do you know that like in India, in fact, stats show that like arranged marriages are more successful than like the normal.
really,
I'm serious.
that's good.
Because in India, obviously, that's like how most of them actually get married. You do realize you're
Sorry, I forgot I was recording.
so in India, that's actually like what they do
Yeah.
more often than not. Like, you know, they just the father of, you know, because like they are usually their homes are usually institutional. So like they kind of, oh, my friend's daughter and stuff like that. "Ah, I think you guys will be good together," or business partners and stuff like that, you know. And then they bring them together. And to an extent, I feel like because it's arranged, there's very little expectations. Because what disappoints
That's
people in marriages is expectations.
Expectations.
When you have expectations that like, oh, I expect this guy to be this, to be that,
Fair.
and all of that. So when they come in and they are not that, then you're just angry and you're like, the marriage is not working out, or like this person is not the best. You know, they are not pulling up their weight. You know.
That makes sense. That actually, in that case, no, I'm just saying in the sense that like, let's just say that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Or for some people, that's not the case. You know, it's not always successful. It's a thing where like they could just they could end up in an abusive relationship, or like just in, let's say, in a toxic one where like both of them, their communication is like, their lack of communication is evident, or like that itself is going to affect, say if they want to have kids or so, that's going to affect them as well. So it's not only them themselves that they're thinking about now, it's the family that they have to think about. So I just feel like you're kind of going into this thing, and it's like, for some people, I want to say like they don't know, they might not know the person that they're about to get married to, but isn't that the same for like, what's it called? Have you ever heard like people? Actually, I'm pretty sure your dad said it. Like, just go up to like someone and then like, God told me you are going to be my wife.
Oh, bro, like I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Like that is so common in the Christianity.
I mean, fair enough if you
culture.
actually did. Like,
The one thing I'm definitely
But do you think God actually tells people who to marry?
wait, what were you gonna say? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm really asking
This is why you should
You
be
can
here.
actually get a mic, you know. I know you don't want to show your face. It's okay.
Can God tell people to marry each other? I believe that God can tell you who you're gonna marry.
God can't.
Can.
Oh, really?
He can. But I also believe that if God is telling one person and the other person also hears from God, they can also confirm. Because I feel like a lot of people are misled due to their lack of maybe relationship with God. Because if somebody that seems spiritual comes to you and says, God told me to marry you, you're obviously immediately gonna think, oh, this person is a very spiritual person. Like maybe God actually, because I think that's how people get tricked into it. God actually told this person hears from God. But I guess this is going into the importance of your relationship with God as well, because hearing from God is something that everyone can do. And once you're able to be in that space, no one can just tell you that God told me this. Because at the end of the day, like 10 people can come and tell you that God told me to marry you. So who do you now pick?
We guys do that a lot. I didn't do it.
Done it before?
I didn't do it. But like I know that guys did it. Like I would rather tell you that like I love you and I want us to be in a relationship.
How can you love them? You don't know that. And they're not like,
Come on, bro.
No, actually, obviously there's loving one another. All that stuff. I'm not talking about that. How can you love them and not know them?
Well, I mean that's the word you have to use. I'm not gonna say hi. I love you. What? Sorry, I will run.
No.
That's scary.
Me too.
You're gonna
Just say
run
like
away.
I like you. Like I think you're.
Well, I mean, this is like an ancient way of asking people out. I'm not exactly saying that's
Which
how
one is
I
an
ask my
ancient
babe out. That's not how I ask my babe out.
Are we talking about someone that you just met just now?
No, obviously not. Like,
That's what I'm
you're
talking
friends. You're already friends. Like, how do you even tell somebody that like you
Okay,
just
sorry,
met?
that's different. I'm talking about like the people that go up to a person and just
No,
like
that's
God told me
very
to
weird.
until you meant they go up to them and say hi, I love you. I would actually run. That's what you meant. But okay, you're talking about someone that you actually already know.
Yeah.
And it was friendship at first.
Yeah. For example, like you know how people can be in like say like a gathering, a fellowship or something like that, and then like you're all friends, maybe not like deep friends, but like you know each other, you hang out and stuff like that. And this guy comes to you and is like, I actually like you, stuff like that, and tells you and all of that. And another person then comes to you and was like, in the book of Genesis, and kind of marshals this proposal. And another person comes to you and was like, I actually had a dream about you. Now, for you as a lady, like what is that like to you? Like how do you normally feel?
That is scary, low-key. The way you said it there, I'm not even joking. You don't know me, I mean, well, you do know me, but like, okay. Are you talking about like, okay, where if someone's like your friends?
You're all friends.
Yeah. And then there's three different...
They adopted three different approaches. Yeah.
What approach would I like first? Is that what was the question again?
Do you think it's weird that they are coming and they are saying they like you?
I don't blame them.
Many of them are actually even saying that like, God spoke to them. Because we have a lot of that. Like, I feel like if God speaks to you, keep it to yourself. Like, don't bring it to me. No, but it's true, because you're just trying to make me biased. Like you're trying to play on my psychological. Yeah, do you get what I mean?
You can start to like show interest.
Do you
in that way.
get?
You don't have to necessarily say.
Because you're like,
because it's going to make
God
you feel
has
like
already spoken to him, so like, well, surely God is in this thing.
Yeah.
So like,
if for them as well, if they want it to be a natural, like if they want it to happen naturally as well. Obviously, as God has told them, but if they want it to now between us two to now happen naturally, I feel like they should go about it naturally, not just say, I'm not saying like God talking to them, it's not natural, but I mean they shouldn't come and say to my face that God said you're going to be my wife, because that alone is going to make me feel like now I have to
because you don't want to disobey God, and you love God too much.
So I feel like
because God will open the doors, like if it's meant to be, God will open the doors.
What's meant to be will be them, like literally if they, I feel like if
have you seen people who like someone says God told me that like we are going to be in a relationship and the other person says no, or they are even already married?
They're already married? No, I haven't seen, I know a situation where the parents of someone said that God told them that this is going to be their wife, and they've tried it, like tried to build a relationship, and it
wasn't working.
It didn't work out.
No chemistry. It's very weird.
So I mean, maybe in the future it might still happen, but I don't know.
Can God lead people who don't have chemistry? Like I don't know. Like this thing is very complicated. Like what? Just know Jesus. Know Jesus and know peace. Know the Holy Spirit for yourself. Because this life, the things human beings be doing, it's so shocking.
There's a movie called Power Couple.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So like,
Where is it?
it's on YouTube. Shameless plug. It's called Power Couple and it's like a Nigerian movie. But like, yeah. Like it explores the thing of God told me, and the person's a pastor, like a very known pastor, and he tells someone that God told me I should marry you. And when they got married, they found out. He found out that it was like the woman found out that the situation was a bit weird. He was in another relationship. But
like he was bisexual.
Yeah.
But how did you
get just
that?
watch a movie. But like it shows like the whole thing of like even this God told me, like it's important to confirm yourself, because God will talk to you. Like anyone that is willing to hear from God, you can hear from God.
Yeah.
And even with that, you have the people around you for a reason. Because someone can blindly, blindly go into certain things because one person said God told me. But what about your pastor? Why is your pastor not involved? Why is your pastor not like part of the people that like can vet the person? Why
if you have a pastor?
Yeah, even your parents. Like, because I'm so sure that in so many situations, people will go against their parents because the other person said God told me. So the other person must be right. But I believe if your parents say, your family say, it's so important in the person you're marrying. Like, that's a person.
I've seen someone who actually said that like if their parents doesn't confirm someone, then they can't get into it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Do you think that's right?
It's weird, but at the same time, it's like realistically, you would want a happy, like when you have a happy marriage and then your family and everything also likes the person. And
that's good, but like, because at the end of the day, like this is meant to be based on true love between the two of you, and if it's not based on, because sometimes parents have built their list or their ideal person based on their experiences. For example, some of them will never grow up, with a solid financial background. They want somebody because they've suffered.
They don't want you.
They don't want you to suffer, so they are like, if he's not working in like say an online gas company or as a tech bro or something like that, like we don't want him. Some of them, they have biases against guys that play air because they just feel like they're Yahoo boys or stuff like that, So like if you come with somebody like that, they're just like, no, where did you see this demon from? Stuff like that. But like their parents like that, especially African parents. So it's just, but like my own is know God and know Him for yourself, because at the end of the day, it all boils down to that. You can't, like, and people should stop God told me thing. Don't do it. Like, please don't tell me God told you. If God tells you, write it in your journal and put it for yourself. Don't bring it to my corner. You can tell me once you are in a relationship that, this was what God showed me. But like, don't tell me, don't come and bias my mind and prevent me from and there's always, even the one that is much more worse is the one of prophets. You've seen that before. You haven't had prophets telling people this is the person you're meant to marry. Your generation is so lucky, man.
I don't know anyone personally, but I've heard of those kind of
I've heard.
I've seen someone like a real life where there's a guy who is really financially okay and is taking care of the girl and genuinely loves the girl, but like a prophet, the mom of the girl prayed and the prophet prayed and said, no, that's not the right partner. the other person is the right partner. This guy doesn't have like money, and you can't really like, the girl did not like this guy as much as he liked the other one. So eventually, on the statements of the prophet, he got married to this other one. Now she was abused in the marriage, like beaten and stuff like that. Can God refer you to somebody who is meant to beat you? Does that make sense? Because I don't know, like, it's just not Jesus for you. Just not Jesus. Like, that's the only safe bet. Like, because once you know him, like, even he will guide you, like, in terms of like what to look out for. Because we won't all look for the same thing when we're trying to choose. Like, I would look for something different, you know. And for me as a guy, like, I know it might be old school, but I think when a guy is coming to a lady, you know, to ask a lady out, like, don't just tell me you like me. Like, tell me your direction. Tell me where you're going. I know. That's why I said it's old school, but like for me.
No, I don't get it. Give me an example.
Hello, here's my 3-year plan.
You know, like, so it's like, okay, we built friendship, because I prefer friendship first before relationship. Yeah. So we built friendship, but then we want to take things, you know, serious. This person just like saying, oh, I love you and I care about you and stuff like that. It's okay to just say, hey, like, well, I've been thinking about this, and these are the things that I really like about you. This is where I'm going, you know, this is what I have in mind in terms of my direction and stuff like that. And I don't know if like you also want to share where you're going, so we can just see the nexus in our journey and stuff like that, you know.
I don't think that happens on that first conversation. I feel like that can happen, like, obviously maybe express your interest in that way or whatever, but then like I think that's part of, let's say, the talking stage. Part of the talking stage where you then share like your plans for yourselves individually and also together.
That's good. High time we wrap up today's episode. It would be nice to continue this maybe next week, but then I'm not ready.
Yeah, no.
Okay. But we'll pick it up another time. It's a nice conversation. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching us today, and you guys are great. Regina, Telu, and Elizabeth. You know, it was really nice, you know, discussing. She said she's learned a lot, you know, and you know, obviously, like, subscribe. We don't want to have scanty followers. Currently, we have 45 subscribers.
Wait, I'm not even subscribed.
Exactly. Can you see?
I don't think I am either.
Oh my God. So guys, please subscribe, you know, like, leave us a review. It obviously help people to find us, and definitely stay ahead of the curve, you know. Until next time, my name is Akitunde. Bye bye.